Welcome to Security Nation, the podcast that connects everyone in the electronic security and life safety industry. We bring on security pros to discuss the latest industry happenings, new technology, best practices, and work together with our peers to be the ever-present voice in an ever-changing industry. Today is a special episode where we'll be interviewing different Integrator Director candidates for ESA's election for its board of directors. So we have a lot of special guests today, one of them being Kirk MacDowell, who is the chairman of our Link Committee. In addition to that, we have Brendan Armstrong, who's running for the Integrator Director position. Jeremy Bates, also running for Integrator Director position. Actually, everyone on this call is running. And we have Melissa Brinkman, Randall Renfroe, and April Maloney. So without further ado, since we have so many people and so many questions, and we're wanting to give each of you a little bit of time with our members to kind of discuss a little bit about your background in the industry and what you think you'll bring to the table if elected, we'll just kind of jump right in. So first, I would like to ask a few questions directly to Kirk. Since he is Link's chairman, would you be able to tell our listeners a little bit about the details of this election, how it is contested, and what that means for our members?
Sure. Thanks, Hannah. So this year in 2023, we do have a contested election. Now, a lot of times when people hear the word contested, they think it's a negative term. This is the exact opposite. And it's the opposite because we have more people running than we have board positions available. So we're excited about that. And that's the reason today we're having this town hall so people can get to meet the candidates and know a little bit more about them. So that's what this is about. Contested is a good connotation for this election.
Fabulous, fabulous. Would you be able to give us any important dates for ESA members to mark on their calendars for this election?
Yeah, sure will. So the ballots will be going out May 1st. They are due back May 26th by 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, that's May 26th by 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And they're going to be returned. The ballots will be sent to the primary and or the alternate voting member of ESA, and the primary or the alternate voting member will respond their ballots. So the ballots will be going out May 1st and coming back May 26th. And for those that may not know, we have 2 integrator positions open and 1 associate member position open. And before we maybe break into interviewing the candidates, I really want to thank the Link Committee for doing such a great job. They're charged with identifying, reviewing, recruiting, and reviewing all of the people that are on the call today. And then the installation of the members will be at ESX, which I'm sure everybody will be attending, and that's at June 5th in Louisville, Kentucky.
Fabulous. Would you be able to explain a little bit about the role of Integrator Director on ESA's Board of Directors, what it entails?
Yeah, you bet. It's a big job. It's a big role. An integrator, when elected to the board, really somewhat parks their own personal things about their alarm company and things that may benefit them. And they really are doing this for the betterment of the alarm industry. So they attend board meetings. They vote on very, very important issues relating to ESA's members. They are there to represent ESA nationally. They attend board meetings. They attend all special meetings of the board. And they're really there to provide guidance collectively to the entire board of directors and John Loud, who is our chairman of ESA.
Fabulous. And then I just have one last question for you. So obviously we have all these amazing candidates. How do you feel about them, and what do you feel they bring to the table for ESA members?
Oh my goodness. This has been really neat because it's a contested election, which meant that the Link Committee really had to vet all the candidates. So one of our missions is to vet the candidates, meaning that we look at their background and we look at what they've done in the industry. Amazing individuals. I'm going to have a heck of a time voting because everyone on this call is absolutely qualified, great people, We have two incumbents running again, Melissa and Jeremy. But we know the Link Committee knows all of these individuals. We know them personally and we know them vocationally. So I am not going to favor one over the other. I will tell you it's going to be very, very difficult to cast the vote, but it's important for each member to make the determination who is going to represent them and their company to the entire Alarm Association.
Perfect. I think with all of that information kind of out on the table for our listeners, we can kind of move into interviewing each candidate. Kirk, would you like to take the lead on that?
Yeah, sure. So we only have two questions. Pretty easy. And there will probably be no follow-up by the chairman. So you're safe. So Melissa, we're going to start with you as an incumbent. Tell our listeners a little bit about your background in the industry, and then I have a secondary question for you.
Sure, thanks, Kirk. I've been involved in the industry for for 25 years, and in various roles within our company here at Custom Alarm. I've been CEO here since 2014, and it's a family-run business. My dad started in 1968. I got involved in the industry in just different ways early on to learn more about, obviously, the industry. So attending different industry events through our manufacturers, as well as early on attending ESX from its inception, and really got a lot of value out of that. I've been involved in different panels in different ways throughout my time in the industry, plugging in and learning as well simultaneously. So really value all the people that I've had the opportunity to meet and learn from a lot of different people. And that's, I think, one of the values that I see in this industry is there's so many people that have become friends that are doing similar things, but just a little bit differently. And so I've been able to adapt that to my company and bring back suggestions and ideas to help make us better, and also share best practices or things that didn't work for us to help others learn from our mistakes or learn from our successes. So that's really the beauty of it, as well as just working together for the overall safety of our customers and our businesses, and how we can all be working better together with law enforcement and with our first responders to really recognize that we're all on the same team, just serving different roles. And so where I can get involved on a local level here with my community, as well as on a national level or just regionally, I work to do and continue to have more that I'd like to do just as time permits.
So thanks, Melissa. As rerunning, as your incumbent now for the board of directors, what do you plan to bring to the table? I think you answered some of that in your previous question, but what do you plan to bring to the table if reelected at the ESA board?
For me, I'd say that having been involved and really had the opportunity to learn just a little bit more about ESA and the inner workings these last few years have been helpful, and I feel that that will continue to build on that as we look at, hopefully, in the next term, from the being able to at the table and participating in the different conversations. So I think that that's what I can bring, is some experience there, as well as just as a small business. I've gotten more involved in advocacy on things that are happening within our state, and just primarily more in our state, but also I'm curious on things on a national level, because those things can also impact my business. And so how I can help be a voice and get out there with the help of the work that the ESA advocacy team is doing.
Great. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Jerry, Jerry, we're going to move to you. You are our second incumbent running for re-election. So I'm going to ask the same question to you. Tell our listeners a little bit about background and your background in the industry. And you're on mute, Jeremy. And sometimes it's good for politicians to be on mute. This is not one of those times.
I had unmuted. All right. Well, Kirk, thank you for having me on the call today, and Hannah as well. It's good to meet fellow candidates here. My background in the industry is I've been full-time at Bates Security for 28 years. And then that does not count all the years in middle school and high school working during the summer part-time jobs. I started out as the janitor, I think was my first summer job in the security industry. And then, of course, I worked full-time through college, helping put myself through college. Uh, so my experience in the security industry, I've pretty much done every single position in our company. And I'm fortunate enough to be the second generation person in the industry, second generation of our family, and fortunate enough to be running the company as president of Basic Security. So that is about the extent of my experience, Kirk.
Well, thank you, sir. So what do you plan to bring to the table if reelected to the board of directors?
Well, if I am elected to the board of directors, I feel that I know so much more today than I did when we ran for election this last time. So ESA does so much that I don't think I even realized how much they did until I got to see things behind the scenes. So I have a much better understanding of how to work within the ESA to be a better board member. We've been participating in their membership drive, and I think I can bring a lot to help there. I first got my first experience in association when I was the president of Kentucky ESA, and we helped fight back some low voltage regulations that were going to be quite onerous for us. And that's when I first started getting exposed to the National Electronic Security Association. And I've seen the value of what we can do at the local level and at the national level. So it's something that I'm quite passionate about and feel I can do a good job with my experience as a integrator, somebody running their business day in, day out, coming to work and working hard to grow my business with my team. So it's something I feel I could do a great job continuing if I am reelected.
Great, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Hey, Randall, we're gonna move to you. Welcome. Good to see you. So tell us a little bit of background of you and your company as well.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here today. I'm Randall Renfroe. I'm the CEO and president of Allstate Security Industries, Inc. in Amarillo, Texas. We've been around since 1926. We're a third generation family-owned alarm monitoring company it's based in Texas but operates in all 50 states. We're a wholesale monitoring station as well, so I've cut my teeth from being a security officer to a patrol officer to the procurement manager to the monitoring station manager to everything in between. And over the last 11 years, I've been the owner of the company and trying to grow the wholesale monitoring side of it. So that's my focus right now.
And so I just want to make sure I understand. So you have wholesale monitoring and your own operating entity, is that correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Great. Yeah, that's important to know for voting members to make sure this is a what we used to call a regular member, a dealer integrator. Yep. Okay, thanks very much. So Randall, tell us if you're elected to the board, what would you bring to the table?
Yeah, if I'm elected to the board, I think it would be like anything else I've approached in my tenure in the security industry is just fresh eyes and being able to come in and educate people and I always tell everybody that I pride myself on being an educator or a teacher, and I think that that's my strongest suit. And I think that being able to educate all of the members on what we're capable of doing within ESA and what ESA is able to help us be better at or save money or be able to educate us on licensing or whatever it may be, making sure that all of our members know what that is. And then also recruiting. I'm very good at recruiting people, and I feel like I bring to the table bringing on more companies into ESA and being able to help, educate those smaller companies too and show them how ESA can help them grow their business. And I think that's my strong suits.
Great. Thanks, Randall. So last but not least, Brandon, uh, welcome. And so tell us a little bit about you and your company first.
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Kirk and Hannah, to have me on today. And to be honest, I see Melissa and Jeremy and Randall. You guys are folks that I've read about and have met throughout the years, and really just honored to be a part of this and to even be part of the conversation here today. So thanks for having me. Kirk, a little bit about my background. We're a family-owned business, just like the rest of the folks on this call. About 20 years old as well, not as seasoned as some of the folks on this call, but I was with the company since we started. My dad started the company, and my three brothers are part of the company along with myself today. Started in the builder side of things, ran builder relations for a while. Then we started a commercial division of our organization. I was involved in the beginning of that. Went back to school, got my MBA, and focused more on the strategic partnership opportunities that we're still focusing on today, and are really excited about. And now, in my role today, I oversee all financial and operational attributes of our organization. So I've seen, much like the folks on this call today, I've seen a lot of the different aspects of our business. I've been, again, through great fortune, been asked to sit on other boards as well. I currently sit on the AIN board, the Authorized Integrator Network board, and I've made great friends there as well. So again, thanks for having me on today. A little bit about myself, and excited to play a role here.
And hey, thanks, Brandon. So if elected to the board, what would you bring to the table?
Sure. So yeah, and thinking about coming on today, I just thought about just some of the great fortune that I've had and my family has had by going into other organizations and learning from people that have been in this business for quite a long time when we were first starting up. And we owe a great debt of gratitude to some people that for really no other reason than being a good person stuck their neck out and taught us some tricks of the trade and some things to be careful for, and made some introductions to people that really helped our organizations throughout the years. And now that we've been blessed enough to have some of that insight within our organization, I feel that it's time and it's really appropriate for me to try to do some of that in our next phase of life as well. And so first and foremost, I'd love to, in any way that I can, share some of that insight and some of that knowledge that we've gained over the last 20 years or so with some people that either are starting out or maybe are looking at this industry a little bit different. And I'd love to be able to do that and help in any way possible. But then in addition to that, we also kind of see a little bit of a changing landscape, obviously, in our industry. And I think it's important to remember as security integrators that we play an important role in that. So whether that is through obviously the smart home technology, smart building technology, I think a perfect example would be Vivint and NRG last year with some combination of smart technology and energy usage. We started a solar organization last year and have then as well last year started an electric vehicle installation and maintenance company. So we see a combination of these technologies, and we feel that we can play a role in it. I think our industry can play a role in it. And I'd love to play a role in learning how we can play a role, and then also maybe advising and helping others play a role in that space as well.
Great. Thanks, Brandon. Thank you all very, very much. 4 companies represented here today, and then April will come on later. The 4 are all second and or third generation. And that's pretty amazing. This is, as I always say, this is a robust industry, and we love it, and that's why we're here. So, Hannah, I'll toss it back to you and see where you'd like to go from here.
Awesome. Well, I think that is everything that we wanted to cover today. I would just like to thank everyone for joining us on this podcast. I know it's hard to coordinate all these different schedules sometimes, so I'm glad we were able to get everyone on. And I'd like to thank our listeners. So Everyone, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. This is where we announce a lot of not just ESA news, but industry trends. We're on all podcasting platforms. The full video version of our episodes are available on YouTube. And if you're not yet an ESA member, but you're listening and you're tuned in, and you like what you're hearing, make sure to visit us on our website, www.esaweb.org. There you can schedule a discovery call with one of our awesome membership team members, and you'll be happy you did. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day, Security Pros.